Hello there and welcome to a fresh episode of the program Last Week in Nigeria. My name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Permit me to say Happy New Month to our dear viewers. We appreciate you for following us since the inception of this program. Thank you for being there. Don't forget you can follow us on all our social media handles using @LastWeekInNigeria. And on our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe, share, comment, and make sure you turn on the notification bell so that you can get the subsequent episodes each time we drop them. Let's begin this way on Last Week in Nigeria. It's been a very, very difficult moment for Nigerians. Why? The fuel scarcity is biting very hard. Even as I speak with you, this production, as we are on generator, we bought the fuel for 1,200 naira. A few days ago, we bought it for 920 naira. We don't know, maybe it's going for 1,500 naira by the time you get to next week, if it is not checked. Though, some marketers have been threatened that their licenses will be withdrawn, but let's see how the presidency will come to the help of Nigerians by making some strong policies that will help change this narrative, because the hardship is too much. The multiplier effect is also on the already suffering Nigerians who are already battling with hardship, now fuel scarcity. And fuel is virtually being used by every business in Nigeria today. Because if you are in any industry, just name it, from health to production, you need to have fuel due to the power situation in our country. So I will run you through some of the stories anyway. You get to hear how Nigerians are grappling with the fuel scarcity. It's a big challenge and is affecting everyone. The Nigerian Tribune is what I will start with. Front page of the Nigerian Tribune, it says, Senate expresses concern over Naira depreciation. That was reported last week by the Nigerian Tribune, boldly captioned on the front page. The Daily Independent has this one: Nigeria would have gone bankrupt without subsidy cut. That's a statement credited to President Bola Tinubu. The National Economy brought this one for us. For the 2.97% increase in 1 year, Nigeria resorts to charcoal, firewood as cooking gas price spikes further. That's the way the National Economy captions it on the front page. The Daily Times newspaper has this one: why political godfathers, godsons disagree. Senator Suzwam is there speaking, and it's on the front page of the Daily Times. This day newspaper had it on the front page: Tinubu at WEF says subsidy removal, forex reform saved Nigeria from bankruptcy. The Leadership newspaper has this one on the front page: calls for new constitution, NAS turns a deaf ear, proceeds with amendment. The Guardian newspaper says CBN abandons unification policy, reintroduces discriminatory rates. Front page of the Guardian has that one, Last Week in Nigeria. The Matrix newspaper, Nigeria's economy, Tinubu, Bill Gates meet. That's the way the Matrix newspaper puts it. And the front page of the Vanguard newspaper has this one: petrol scarcity will linger 2 weeks more, says IPMA, Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria. And of course, like I told you at the beginning of this program, the fuel scarcity is biting hard on a daily basis. Look at the way the Punch newspaper puts it: petrol scarcity, fuel crisis worsens as depot diverts PMS to Abuja. The Matrix newspaper has it this way: fresh fuel scarcity, oil marketers blame NNPCL. Is it the blame game time, or getting the problem solved once and for all for Nigerians to heave a sigh of relief? Now, the Punch newspaper also has this one: petrol hits 800 naira as 240 million litre vessel arrives. Oh, as if there will be respite in sight. But come to think of it, last week in Nigeria, people bought fuel for as high as 1,200 naira. You can imagine. Still talking about petrol and what people are facing. The Vanguard newspaper has this one: fare hike. Travelers, commuters groan as fuel scarcity bites harder. How I collected $600,000 contract gratification from Emefiele. We're speaking here. Ex-CBN director. Now, still talking about fuel scarcity, supply glitch worsens. Fuel scarcity nationwide. That's the way the leadership newspaper captions it. On the front page of Business Day, we have it this way: petrol crisis mutes workers' day as scarcity sting lingers. That's the way Business Day puts it. Daily Time has it this way: petrol scarcity to worsen as Ipman threatens strike over 200 billion naira debt. Who is owing who, you might want to ask. Vanguard newspaper has this one: on the occasion of the May Day celebration, though celebrated as a low-key one due to the lingering fuel scarcity. The Vanguard newspaper has it this way: May Day, FG approves pay rise for workers as labor leaders lament hardship. FG approves 35% salary increase for civil servants. That's the way the Nigerian Tribune captions it. FG approves 35% salary increase. That story is common to all the newspaper as reported last week in Nigeria. Keyamo is in the news again. This time around, corruption allegations. Keyamo demarketing Nigeria's aviation sector, says experts. Still talking about corruption. Ganduje now speaking for the presidency. He's saying no vacancy in Aso Rock in 2027. What is he trying to say there? They're talking about corruption allegation leveled against him, and here is he now speaking for the presidency against 2017, for crying out loud. We're still in 2024. Well, he's entitled to his opinion, and of course, as a former governor of Kano State and the sitting chairman, national chairman of the ruling APC, this is All Progressive Congress in Nigeria. Daily Trust newspaper has this one: NLC rejects 35% pay rise, insists on living wage. And the NLC is saying, make it 615,000 naira, a living wage for Nigerians. But FG somehow is offering 150,000. Let's start talking from there. That's what the FG is saying. But well, let's see what will happen from the recommendations of the committee to the federal government and the eventual actions of some state governments. Though some states are already taking the cue from that decision to say, hey, we're not even waiting on the federal government. We want to make sure there's a pay rise for our own civil servants in our states. Edo did that, and some other states are also warming up. We hope every other state will take a cue from this and make Nigerians to live a better life. We must develop our economy and human capacity. That's the way Blueprint newspaper puts it. Inflation, naira depreciation plunges Nigeria to the lowest wage earners. For some sporting gist, as we have it on the Sporting Sun, says Aston Villa, Crystal Palace at war over who? Iheanacho. And also last week in Nigeria, the Super Eagles got a blessing as Finidi George, former Super Eagles player, was announced as the official coach for the Super Eagles. The Sporting Sun puts it this way: Finidi to open Eagles camp with home-based stars. That's our new coach in action. Well, that's about the size of it at last week in Nigeria. But don't forget, it pays to advertise on this program. Put your money where your mouth is. We'll just give you the value for your money without stress. So you have the opportunity to advertise your goods and services on this program at last week in Nigeria, and we'll take you straight to the global world. And the global stage will definitely get to identify with you, patronize your goods and services. Don't forget to like, share, and comment on all our social media platforms at Last Week in Nigeria. And of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Last Week in Nigeria. On behalf of all of us here, my name is Emmanuel Oriowo. Thank you for being there. Let's do this together again next week.